Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. It's basically the doldrums of summer right now, for Bitcoin at least. Bitcoin's coming down and bouncing off of the 200 weekly moving average, bouncing up to the 50-day moving average, and it's kind of in and out. Okay. Markets were up today nicely, so that was good there. Miners were a little mixed today. We'll take a look at what's going on there. We'll also take a look at DMG. They provided their production update for May, along with Argo, and then we have Bitfarms news. They are buying more miners and basically getting more efficient miners for their whole facility. So, well, not all the miners are being replaced, but they're getting some miners. Okay, so we'll get into all that. But as always, you guys know the drill here. This is not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. Invest in following coins and companies for full disclosure. And if you enjoy this type of content, please hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. All right, so let's take a look at the market, see what's going on here. S&P was up today 0.62%. Dow Jones was up 0.5%. NASDAQ was up nicely today 1.09%. Bitcoin, on the other hand, was actually up a little bit today, was up 0.61% today, so it closed at 26,508. As you can see here, we were bouncing. Well, we came pretty close to the 200 daily moving average here on Monday and Tuesday. We bounced off of it. Finally, we went up to the 50-day moving average here, and then yesterday, we came back down to the 200 weekly moving average, bounced off of that, and today we bounced off of it. And today we're kind of right on that line where that 200 weekly moving average is at, which is right around 26,500 roughly. So we're kind of bouncing in between these metrics here right now. We'll see where it goes. I mean, right now the RSI isn't looking too good on the daily. If you look at it right now, it's at 45. Last time it was over here. Price was actually higher at that point. Go back a little bit further on that. It was higher than that. So we're just not seeing anything positive on the daily. Looking at the 4-hour chart as well. Here we go. We can see here that it's bouncing off of the 200 weekly moving average. RSI right now is at 47. Last time we were close to that right here. Price was a little bit lower than that. If we go further out back, we can see back here price was actually higher. And if we go back out even further from there, we can see the price was actually higher than that as well. So that's not looking good there. On the 1-hour chart, you can also see here let's hope, there we go, loads up. RSI right now is at 50. Last time we were back here at 50 right here. Kind of the same spot where we are. Going back a little bit further, we were lower on price. A little bit lower, about the same. Going further back, right around here, we were higher in price. Going back here, we were higher in price. And then also here, we were pretty much higher in price as well. And going back all the way over here, we were kind of lower. So with that being said, I still think we're going to be coming back down. I don't think we're done going down just yet. Where we're going to end up at, I still think we're going to possibly go down to a bottom here of potentially, if this loads, here we go, potentially down to 23,800. This is kind of our support line that we've had in the past. If this 200 daily moving average doesn't hold here, the blue line, we will go down further, which I think at that point the RSI on the daily would fall down to the undersold territory, at which point I think we might be able to have a nice little rally going possibly at the end of the summer. So I think it's still going to take a while for us to get down there. I think we're going to be trading sideways a little bit, going down, going up, until everything is said and done. And then once we get a little bit closer more towards the halving event next year, I think that's when things are going to start picking up, maybe towards the end of the year, possibly into October, November, December, we might start going up a little bit in price, but we'll see. Okay, so that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. Ethereum, same thing. Ethereum was up a little bit today as well, was up 0.74%. And right now it is battling with the 20-day and the 50-day moving averages right here. And it's kind of battled with them for a while here, as you can see here on the daily chart. It's been bouncing above them, bouncing below them, but it's kind of battling right now. So we'll see where that one goes. And let's take a look at the miners here really quick as well, see how they did today. And things are loading really slow today. Let's get rid of these lines over here. I don't know if it's TradingView that's kind of slow today, or my internet's slow. Could be one or the other. Okay, so ANY was down 2.15% today. Argo was up 1.67%. Bitfarms was up 4.96%. BitDigital was up 4.96%. Sorry, Bitfarms was up 0.89%. Cypher was down 1.72%. CleanSpark was down 0.26%. Cores was down, up actually 2.81%. DigiHost was flat. DMG was down 0.79%. GreenEdge was down 4.66% here. And then we got Hive over here was down 0.33%. Hut was down 0.51%. Iris Energy was actually up 5%. Marathon was up 0.21%. Mawson was down 2.88%. Riot was up 1.15%. Soluna was down 3.31%. Stronghold was down 4.37%. And Wolf was basically flat on the day right now. Okay, so that's kind of how the miners played out today. Let's take a look at the network hash rate, see what's going on there. And let's see, that should be refreshed. Network hash rate right now is at, on the 7-day average, 363 million. Looking at the 1 day, we can see here that we are back up a little bit here to 392 million terahashes as it is right now. Okay, so let's take a look at the stories that we do have here. We'll go through this relatively quickly. Bitfarms improves the energy efficiency with purchase of 4,660 high-performance miners. So this is great news for them. So they purchased 550 petahash of new high-efficiency BTC miners for 7.7 million. And this is good, and they got a nice price for it using a combination of cash and vendor credits. A total of 4,660 miners we purchased for $13.94 per terahash with a blended energy efficiency of 28 megawatts per terahash. So that's good there. We secured additional miners to build upon our momentum in Argentina and Quebec, said Ben Gagnon, Chief Mining Officer at Bitfarms. These new miners will have the highest efficiency in our fleet and improve our average energy and operating costs while minimizing capital expenditures. Representing 550 petahash, these miners will be used for expansion and fleet optimization, which leads me to believe that they might be actually getting rid of some of the older miners. Potentially, we'll take a look at which ones those might be. And we expect them to push our corporate hash rate beyond our September 30th, 2023 target of 6 exahash. I actually have them up a little bit higher than that, but we'll talk about that. When fully deployed, these miners are expected to improve energy efficiency 11% in Argentina to 33 watts per terahash, and 3% company-wide to 37 watts per terahash. All of the new miners are expected to be online in Q3 of 2023. So within the next, basically, 4 months potentially. All right, so this is actually good news for them and good news for our shareholders as well. Getting new miners is always good. So when we look at Bitfarms here, we've talked about them before. You guys have seen this all. Going down here, here are the miners that we have for them right now. So currently I'm getting to about 7.45 exahash with everything that's listed here that's been reported as being purchased. And my only question here is possibly these 80, 90, and 91 terahash miners. And those might be coming offline, and that would get us to 6.9, which is right here. But we'll have to see what they actually do as far as if they switch out any miners. Other than that, they don't have any really old miners here left. We did get rid of some of the older miners earlier. So those are all gone. So now we're just left with 103 terahash miners, 100 terahash, 140, 105, and 118 here. So that's not too bad. So these might be the only ones that might be coming offline here, getting swapped out with the newer purchase as well. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that, see where that goes. But that's where I have them right now at 6.9. They're saying a little bit over 6. Not sure, but if we got rid of those, well, we got rid of those. So we'll see. I don't know what else we could possibly get rid of here. These, I don't know if they stated they purchased these back in 2021. I haven't heard anything about them being installed, the Pro XPs. I don't know if they canceled the order here, but that would bring us down to another 6.8 exahash or so. So we'll see. And then obviously these are just recent purchases here as well. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at with Bitfarms. But nonetheless, this is good. We want to see growth, and they are definitely growing here. Okay, so the next story is going to be on DMG. So DMG operations update for May 2023. They hodl 570 Bitcoin right now. BTC mine was 70.5. 0 miners added. Hash rate added was 0. Average hash rate was 0.78 exahash for the month, leading me to believe that they actually curtailed or had problems. And here's what they had to say. Several lightning storms caused unexpected substation downtime during the month, and that's obviously resulted in the lower average hash rate for the month for them. Okay, so let's take a look at DMG here as far as my numbers are concerned, and we'll get through it all. So DMG has 167.68 million shares outstanding. Stock price is right now at 20 cents. Market cap is 33.5 million. They have been, well, they're kind of mediocre right now as far as performance goes for the 12 weeks, 8 weeks, 4 weeks, and 1 week. Their BTC production also has been lackluster here ever since December. It's been falling down quite fast. They reached 104.6 in December, and then ever since then they've fallen down basically almost 30% or so. 70.5 was the reported for May. They did sell about 35 BTC in May. See, BTC hodl was 570. Yeah, 71 was what they mined. Monthly difference in BTC from month to month. So you can see here the differences that we have from month to month. It's continuing to decrease, which isn't a good sign. BTC hodl has been increasing though, which is kind of good. And then BTC per exahash efficiency has also been coming down, but that's a result of network hash rate increasing. We're seeing that across the miners here. A lot of the miners did have a little bit of a spike here in May because of all the extra transaction fees that were basically earned by the miners here in May. So a lot of them have spiked up a little bit as far as efficiency is concerned. And you can see the BTC sold here was negative 35 for the month of May. Hash rate, they've been kind of steady here. It looks like right around 917 petahash for the last 6 months or so. And we'll see if they can actually continue to grow from there. As far as how much they've been generating revenue also peaked here in April, actually, 2.124 million based on number of reported Bitcoins. They're down to 1.93 million here in May. And then hash rate difference, you can see that hash rate has been pretty flat as well. BTC sold value, they sold about 1 million in Bitcoin this past month. You guys have seen this already before, last 4 quarters of revenue, last 4 quarter operating expenses, and then other metrics here as well. Institution-wise, they did decrease as far as institutions down to 7 from 8. Shares also decreased to 1.41 million from 1.42 million. And percentage owned by institutions is down to 0.84% instead of 0.85%. We still have one strong buy rating for them from analysts, one buy rating, 0 hold, 0 underperform, 0 sell. Price target is now 23 cents across the board. That is a big decrease from where they were at 75, 50, and 25 the prior month. Okay. As far as the numbers here are concerned for days in operation for May, based on what they reported as far as being mined here, it looks like they were running for about 30 days. Plus, we know that there was a lot to be earned from the transaction fees. Nothing got added to that for them. So meaning they were probably curtailing a little bit more than that, probably another 2-3 days or something like that on top of it, which isn't good. So obviously the electrical storm issues caused them to have problems. That's why we're seeing decreased efficiency here for the month of May for them. Okay, so based on all the information that we do have for them right now, they are at current quarter is going to be about 5.9, give or take a little bit here. They've reported in the past. They report on the Twitter page higher BTC mined than they actually report on their quarterly results. And I'll show you what I mean here down here. So as you can see here in January, February, and March, if you count those, they reported through Twitter 268.3, and I think this is the combination of maybe their software, their pool that they're in as well, that's being reported, part of that. But then they actually report what was theirs mined in the month or for the quarter. So we had 255 compared to 268. That's a difference of 13 Bitcoins, and that's why I'm off a little bit here. So I'll see if I can figure out a way to adjust that a little bit, but we'll see. As you can see, I was off by 5.78% here in first quarter numbers. Okay, so based on that, we're looking at around 5.9. Last 3 quarters is 14.8. That's the reported numbers. Combined total, we're looking at about 20.8 million, 50% net income from gross revenue with a PE of 5. I'm looking at 31 cents for them. They're currently at 20 cents right now. They are a little bit undervalued. And that's the main reason is because of the lack of the growth. If they would start growing more, buying miners, adding miners, I think that would definitely help out the stock price. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do a reverse split, possibly. Yeah, I mean, they got quite a bit of shares outstanding, so they could do a reverse split to get them up above $1. I don't even think they're on the NASDAQ right now. They're on the OTC as it is right now. So it doesn't really make sense for them to do a reverse split. Okay, so that's it. So like I said, a little bit undervalued right now based on my numbers. Pretty well valued based on analyst ratings. But like I'm saying, I'm thinking they're a little bit undervalued right now. Okay, let me know what you guys think of them. Let's get into the next one, which is going to be on Argo. Argo blockchain announces May operation updates, and here's what we have. So Argo mined 173 Bitcoin in May. This is an increase of 16% compared to 4.8 BTC mined per day in April of 23. And then as of May 31st, the company held 50 Bitcoin. They sold some. During the month of May, the company sold certain digital assets and plans to use the proceeds to pay down debt. So that's, in a sense, good. The company's total hash rate capacity continues to be 2.5 exahash, and that is it for them that we have. All right, they're going to be growing about 12% here to 2.8 exahash by the end of the year, which later this year. Okay, quick and easy. Let's get into Argo here really quick as well. Argo has 47.7 million shares outstanding. Stock price right now is $1.22. Market cap 58.2 million. They have also had lackluster performance here the last 12 weeks, 8 weeks, 4 weeks. Last week was actually pretty good for them. And then as far as BTC mined, they peaked in August with 235. They've been going down here ever since then. They bottomed here in April of 144. And then they had a nice pickup here at 173 in May. So you can see the monthly difference, month-over-month difference for them. They did sell 50 Bitcoins here. Actually, they sold, looks like 206 Bitcoin. Yeah, HODLs 50. Looks like they sold 206 Bitcoin based on that number there. Yep, okay. Bitcoin HODL, you can see that has been coming down here ever since May of last year. They had 2.4 thousand Bitcoin, and now it's down to 50 Bitcoins. Bitcoin per exahash efficiency has increased here to 69.18. It's still not in line with some of the other miners that are more efficient with them, and that's because they have done quite a bit of curtailing here as well. Bitcoin sold, you can see how much they sold each month here in the last 12 months. Hash rate has been flat ever since August of last year at 2.5 exahash, which is pretty much a full year. That's why you're seeing the BTC generated here coming down every single month ever since August. With network hash rate increasing, you're going to see that continue to happen for them until they actually start growing again. And then monthly Bitcoin mined as well, you can see that the only thing that's benefiting them is the price of Bitcoin going up in value, and then also the network transaction fees helped them out quite a bit here in May. And then looking down here, as far as institutions and analysts are concerned, we now have 21 institutions, 438,000 shares, and this is based on the ARBK ticker symbol. We have one strong buy rating, one buy rating, 3 hold ratings for them, price target of $3, average of $1.71, and a low of 80 cents. And then looking at the numbers here for them in May, we know they didn't install anything, and I actually had to drop them down to 27 days in production to get to the 4.75 million in revenue based on the average Bitcoin price for May, and based on what they reported here as being mined. So that's where we're getting that number from. So given that they were only operating for 27 days, with the addition of the transaction fees, it leads me to believe that they were probably operating around maybe closer to like the 21, 22 days, which is more in line with their average here in the past. April, you can see, was at 21 and a half days. March was 22 days. February was only 20 days. So they are curtailing a lot based on what we're seeing here in the past. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. So that did help them out as far as generating more Bitcoin here, which was good. So that definitely increased theirs. But now looking into June, with depending where Bitcoin ends up in June, we're looking at possibly 3.8 million in revenue. So that's almost that's roughly 900,000 less than in May. So the transaction fees definitely helped out in May. Okay, looking back up over here, we can see that current quarter we're looking at about 12.7 million if that works out the way it is, with Bitcoin staying the same price, network hash rate, all those things. Last 3 quarters is 37.4 million. Combined total 50.185 million. And then the network, 50% net income from gross revenue, looking at $2.63. And 75% net income from gross revenue, we're looking at $3.84. The analysts have them at $3 for the high end, kind of in line with where the analysts are right now. I give them a P of 5 because they just don't have any growth left. They're only going to be adding another 300 petahash by the end of the year as it is. Okay, so we'll see how they continue going forward. I think they're slightly undervalued. I think there's other miners that are probably a better bet than they are right now. But we'll see. Also, let's see if we can take a look at their debt here. Their debt has decreased, so that's good there. But so has their assets, unfortunately, after selling that facility to Galaxy Digital. All right, so that's it. Let me know what you guys thought of all this. As always, the spreadsheet is going to be available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there. Thank you also to all the YouTube members as well. Thank you so much for you guys watching as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. We'll see what happens later on this week. We're still missing a couple of miners they need to report. Let's take a look at that really quick as well. We are still missing information from Hive, Hut 8, which is surprising. They usually provide the information by then. Hive is sometimes early, sometimes late, just you never know. Mawson hasn't provided since, well, they haven't provided April numbers either, so I'm doubting they're going to provide May numbers. So that's one that's probably going to be on the chopping block here. We're going to get rid of them. And then Sphere is always a little bit late to provide their numbers as well. Okay, so those are the only ones we're waiting on. Once we get at least Hive and Hut 8, no, I'm probably going to wait for Sphere unless they report it, but then we'll do the monthly review of the miners, see which one actually did best in May. Okay, so that's it. Hope you guys have a great evening. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then,